Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the BSmart Bootcamp webinar. We're thrilled to have you with us today. As we move into another busy placement season, it's vital to prepare not just with skills, but with the right presentation, both on paper and in person. This evening, we are dedicated to guiding you through two pivotal aspects of job readiness: crafting a standout resume and mastering the art of professional grooming. We will provide you with valuable insights and practical tips on how to create a compelling CV that catches the eye of recruiters and how to present yourself with confidence and professionalism in any setting. Let's embark on this journey to enhance your employability and prepare you to make a lasting impression in the job market. Let's dive right in. I have here with me Miss Ankita, who will be sharing the screen today, and she'll be here with us throughout the session. Ankita, if you could please introduce yourselves quickly.
Thanks, Kirti. Hello, everyone. My name is Ankita Kamesra. I'm a training consultant by profession. As far as my experience is concerned, I have worked with 50 plus corporates and institutions for their specific training needs. Till date, I have trained more than 5,000 students for their specific campus placement recruitment needs. Today, I'll be sharing into the second half the details or the important points where you can create an impact even before being present in person right there. So I'll be giving you the inputs. By using them, you can actually create an impression via your resume writing, create an effective resume, and be ready for the job market. See you in the second half. Thank you. Over to Katie.
Thank you, Ankita. We're delighted to have you here. Hello, everyone. My name is Kirti Rana. I'm a certified soft skills trainer and an image consultant. My education background comprises of me doing a BTech in computer science from VIT Vellore, moving on to doing my MBA in HR and finance. I worked my way across organizations from Ahmedabad to Gurgaon to Mumbai. And for the last 3 years, I've been into training, helping people get their dream jobs, helping them get into the job market, dive right in and be the best version of themselves out there. I've trained over 7,000 individuals in the last 3 years and looking forward to adding many more through this webinar. So let's just get into it. So before we begin, we'd like you to scan this QR code through your cameras or join menti.com and enter the code that is given on the screen. This way, we'll be able to have a much more interactive session with us. We wouldn't like to have a one-way conversation. We'd like to hear you throughout the conversation, throughout the presentation. So please join in and give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Thank you. I can see thumbs ups coming in. Makes me a very happy woman today. Lovely. We'll just quickly wait for another minute to have a few more logins in. I've got about uh, 40 plus thumbs ups. I'm guessing as many people join, I'll get those to have a bigger, higher counts throughout the session. Thank you so much. I shall add in the QR code in the presentation throughout when we're moving ahead, so that in case you do get out of the entire presentation, then you may rejoin through Mentimeter. As soon as we cross the 100 mark, we'll get started. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay, let's go. So for the first half here today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be we're busting a lot of myths, what we've been hearing, what we've been practicing, and what we've been hearing from the world tell us. We'll bust a few myths. We have experts here to guide you through it. We'll be knowing the key aspects that are critical to grooming and image management, which I shall be taking you through, and understand what the hype around ATS is in resume writing, which will be taken up by Ankita in the second half. So let's get in. So, getting right into grooming etiquette, the first question on your screen here is first impressions are only about your looks. I would want you to go in there and understand. Let me know if you think if it's a myth or a reality. In case you're unable to use the QR that is available on the screen, there is a code that has been given in the chat box. You may refer it and log into menti.com. Amazing responses. We've got 23 individuals here who believe the statement is a myth, while 75 individuals here amongst us think that first impressions are only about your looks. Well, let's get into what the reality actually is. First impressions is not just your looks. First impressions are a combination of factors. It includes your body language, how you carry yourself, how you're sitting, your facial expressions, what your hands are doing when you're in the room, your communication skills, the way you speak, including your tone, clarity, and confidence. How you're standing and how you start with right from your hello says a lot about how much confidence you're carrying in you. Also, first impressions include your attitude, your demeanor, such as you being friendly, approachable, positive. There's a lot of times when you just look at somebody and you think, "Hey, no, this is not going to happen. You will not be able to talk to them. They look intimidating." It is the expressions on your face that give away if you're friendly or approachable that makes people want to talk to you even more. And the presentation, which is how well you're prepared, how appropriate you are to the setting in terms of your clothing, in terms of your body language, in terms of your accessories that you're carrying, and the overall expression on your face. Give me a thumbs up if your people are liking what this is happening here. If this was a reality check that we got in, that first impressions are not just about looks. Thank you. It's amazing to see all the thumbs ups coming in. It's a beautiful animation that comes onto the screen as well. Thank you so much. So, our next statement here today is You need to always be in formal clothing, or you need not be in formal clothing while you're taking a virtual interview or a professional call. Mixed responses this time. This is nice. I think we're already into our way of understanding what the entire process of grooming is about. We've got quick learners in the audience, don't we, Ankita? Oh, now it's getting into a fight. This is nice. We've got various thoughts from the audience. I'll quickly share the QR code in case somebody's missed out. You may join in. Okay. So moving right into if this is a myth or a reality. Oh, we've got quite a competition here. So virtual call dressing is absolutely important. It plays a vital role in the impression that you're making. A lot of times we moved into the virtual call era when COVID hit us. And what we do is we'd put on a shirt on top and wear shorts or pajamas underneath to feel comfortable कि कैमरे पे तो बस इतना ही दिखता है. And even the shirt could be anything. You're wearing polo t-shirts that make it look sort of formal. Whereas your entire behavior, your attitude changes completely when you're dressed in formals top to bottom. Pajamas and shorts give you a feeling of comfort, which does not make you very active on the call, which is why we suggest wearing trousers even when you're indoors in a virtual call. Also, there is a possibility that you might have to get up during the call to go pick something up. And when you get up, it could be a little embarrassing not having dressed completely appropriate. So even in virtual setting, your attire plays a significant role in how your behavior is and how well you look. Dressing appropriately for virtual professional call demonstrates that you actually care for the meeting, you respect the meeting and the people involved, and you actually care enough to put in those efforts for the job interview that you're applying to. Also, it helps you maintain a very professional demeanor. As we say, first impressions are your last impressions. We want to make sure that anytime we're meeting somebody, we make an impression that stands out. Yes. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. Keeps up the motivation for all of us. Thank you. Moving on to the next myth. Are smart casuals considered professional dressing? Here we've left it open to you. It's an open forum where you can send in your responses and we'd love to hear what you have to say. Are smart casuals considered professional dressing? Oh, we've got varying responses. This is nice. So we have a bunch of answers. There's mixed definitely where we have a few yeses, a few no, a few not acceptable. People saying that they're definitely considered professional. There's people saying definitely not considered. There's some that say it depends on the situation and the occasion we're in. So let's get in and see what the actual reality is. Yes, smart casuals are considered forms of professional dressing. Like a few said, that it depends on the occasion that we are in. The appropriateness of the outfit depends on the context depends on the situation, depends on the event that we are in. Also, it depends on the work environment. A lot of organizations engage and want their employees feeling a little more comfortable with being open with smart casual options or business casuals, like a lot of us say. However, certain organizations are very adamant with regards to what they're looking for. So, for interviews, ideally, we suggest going in for proper formal clothing so that you make the right impression. There is a balance that merges the elements of casual wear with more formal pieces that overall makes an impression that you're polished, you put in effort, yet you look a little more relaxed. It also makes you a little more approachable. A few tips or a few ideas on smart casuals would be wearing jeans or trousers with a shirt and a blazer on. You could also pull on a t-shirt with trousers and put on a blazer. The third layer will give you a very strong look, yet the jeans, the chinos, and the t-shirts would give you a much more relaxed look to the entire appearance. Throughout, also just adding in case you all have any questions, you may drop into the Q&A box. Leave us questions which we'll be answering at the end of the session. Thank you. Let's go on to the next myth. What are the colors that come under business and professional dressing according to you? So there's so many colors under the sky that we have, and there's new colors coming in every day. So what colors according to you come under business and professional dressing? We have a lot of blacks, whites. Pastels is a nice answer. Blue, light pink, light blue, blue, black, gray, and white. We're heavy on the white, black, and gray here, with a few blues coming in. Light combo like a light shirt and a dark pant. That is an interesting answer. Thank you so much for it. Off-white, sky blue. Sky blue is our typical corporate blue that we call it. All corporate blues are always around. You cannot have enough blue shirts in your wardrobe. You have navy blue and blue, white, beige, black, pink, pastel colors. Questions you can drop us in the Q&A and we shall answer all of them. Perfect. We have a lot of answers here, all of us falling under the typical light and dark combination that we stick to. So moving on to what we think are appropriate, what are colors that fall under the category of business and professional dressing. Not orange and yellow is a very nice answer. It makes me, it's very frank and absolutely love the feedback. Thank you so much. Getting into the choice of colors in professional dressing, your colors play a vital role. It depicts your mood, it depicts the kind of personality that you want to appear in front of other people. So, like most of us guessed right, neutral colors like black, gray, navy blue, white always stay around. You cannot go wrong with them. Absolutely not. They work for you. The stark contrast between white and black also gives you a lot of power. It showcases a lot of confidence just by how you're showing it. Earthy tones like beige and brown, and accent colors. A lot of times you will see people wear burgundy, maroon, dark green, emerald greens, which are standout colors, yet they look very pleasing to the eye. So if you can find the right color and pair it with something that is much more neutral, that is key. If you're wearing accent colors, make sure that the other color is neutral to tone it down and it's not heavy on the eye. It should look appropriate. It should look easy on the eyes. That is the entire point. We a lot of times when we look at other people wearing clothes, the first thing we like it or don't like it is because how the colors fall onto our eyes, how bright they look or how disturbing they look. So when you look at an outfit, make sure you plan the colors accordingly in a manner that it is not too heavy on the eye. It's pleasing, appealing, which is where the pastels also come in. Pastel colors are very pleasing to the eye and they make you look much more softer, which gives a much more approachable attitude or demeanor around you. Yes. Thank you so much for the thumbs up for those who agree. And thank you. We had a lot of right answers in this round. Loving how it's going. The next statement here we have is you need to focus on grooming when attending an important event only. Oh, it's a fair fight this time. Quickly sharing the QR in case somebody missed out as well. Our audience is quick to understand that it is definitely a myth, and it is a myth that we will be busting here. If there's any participants who haven't logged on to Menti with us, we'd encourage doing that since it's going to be a much more interactive session only when we can hear your responses, hear what you're thinking. Since it is a one-way communication through audio, we'd love to see your responses through our app. Thank you. Amazing. Our audience knows that it is a myth. Let's understand why it's a myth. And for those who believe it's a reality, let's see where we're a little off. So, good grooming is considered a habit rather than something that you do on special occasions. You need to be aware of where you're grooming, how you show up. However, grooming is something that you have to focus on every day, if I may be a little straight with that. Showing up neat, tidy, clean in terms of your hair, in terms of other aspects of how you show up in not just your outfit, however, an overall appearance makes you stand out, shows that you understand the environment, you understand the expectations of different environments and respect it. We need to make sure that our hair is on point, our beards for guys, in case you keep them nice and trimmed, girls' hair away from your face. The entire idea is when somebody looks at you, the highlight has to be your face. And for that, it is essential that we make sure that it is our face that outshines the rest of who we are, and our hair, our beard, our not so well ironed shirts do not distract us from where the focus needs to be on. Lovely. Moving on to our next statement, wearing a strong perfume or cologne is not appropriate for professional settings. I'd love to hear your responses. We have clear demarcations here with what everybody believes. So, as most of you guessed it is something that should not be taking place. Wearing strong scents can actually be off-putting and can cause discomfort to others. There's a lot of times when you pass by somebody and the perfume's so strong that you're like, oh, sitting next to that person or being around the person in the same room could be very difficult. So, light, subtle fragrances or no fragrance in some case would actually be more appropriate for professional settings. Good grooming is about the cleanliness that you offer, you bring into the room. The neutral scent rather than overpowering fragrances, having light florals or light musky scents makes it more pleasant rather than having a very strong perfume which could take away from who you are as an individual, while the focus would solely be moved onto the perfume that you are wearing, and it could make a lot of people uncomfortable. Not everybody loves wearing perfumes, or not everybody loves smelling perfumes, so we're not going to force it down somebody's throat. We're going to keep it light. Light subtle fragrances are the way to go. Now, do you agree that body language is not important if you're well dressed? This somewhere connects us to the first statement or the first myth that we had busted today. Body language is not important? No? You do not agree? I love how everybody's saying no, that is just getting bigger and bolder with every statement. It is important. It is necessary. Absolutely. Love how everybody is on the same page that it is important, or in other terms, that we do not agree. The mixed answers are because of the angle that we picked up the question in. Body language absolutely 100% matters. Your image, how you show up, is not just about what you're wearing, it is about your overall presence. It is about your body language, your communication style, your demeanor. A well dressed individual who displays poor body language can be very off putting, might create a negative impression, and that is something that we sure don't want to be doing. It is the combination of the appearance and body language that creates a strong, positive professional image. So let's get into a few body language tips for us here. Your body language has to be very open. That means your arms need to be wide, not crossed. Even when you're standing, sitting, we've got to make sure that we do not cross our legs, putting our legs one on top of the other, while we think that it looks nice. However, it gives off the impression that you're not interested in the conversation, or that you're not in the present in the conversation physically, mentally, I'm sorry. Yes. So the entire science or the logic behind this is we grew up seeing that an X mark on our answer sheets is a big fat no, or that you're wrong. So our mind has been conditioned in the way that anytime you see a cross, you know that it is the wrong way, or that person's not interested, or stop, in other terms. So when we are bored, we tend to subconsciously cross our arms, also start crossing our legs. And as soon as we start crossing, after a bit, you will notice your shoulders also start shrinking in. Our body starts becoming closed. So instead, again, if I am feeling bored, my body is doing this. So if somebody else on the other side of me, or somebody I'm facing, sits with their arms crossed, my brain is going to take in the indication that this person is not interested, they're probably defensive, or they do not like where this conversation is heading. So we make sure that when we're sitting or standing, that our shoulders are straight, back straight, arms wide open, and you give out the appearance that you are fully into the conversation and the other person is free to talk to you. They do not feel any kind of hesitations. Can I see a few thumbs up if this was new information for all of us here? Thank you. Lovely, lovely seeing the response here. So this was my quick 2 bits on uh, how our presentation needs to be. In the grooming program that we shall be doing in our full-on course are the ABCs of first impression. That is your appearance, body language, communication. We'll understand what our personal color is, what our personal style is, and apply it to us directly. How to appear confident overall, and our entire focus is going to be on image management, making sure that you, when you walk into the room or when you enter your virtual call, You make the impression that you want to make, be the best version of yourself out there. Thank you so much. Here's a quick video about what the program is to share. And do not miss out on the second half. We have Ankita who's going to be talking about resume building. Can't wait to see Ankita here. Yes.
Hello, future leaders. Imagine having a personal coach guiding you through every step of your job search journey. That's what the BSmart Bootcamp is all about, an immersive, hands on program designed to equip you with everything you need to land your dream job. Whether it's crafting the perfect resume, nailing your interviews, or mastering group discussions, our bootcamp has got you covered. BSmart Bootcamp features 4 intensive sessions, each focusing on critical job readiness skills: group discussions, resume and cover letter writing, grooming, and job interview preparation. Each session is 3 hours long, 2 hours of expert led discussion, and 1 hour of practical hands on work. Plus, you'll get an exclusive one on one mock interview with an expert trainer. The boot camp is spread over several days, giving you ample time to digest, practice, and perfect each skill. This series will help you create a resume that stands out and a cover letter that grabs attention. You'll gain access to free tools to tailor your resume for any job. Experience a realistic interview with constructive feedback and strategies to excel. Learn the ins and outs of group discussions and the secrets of professional grooming. By the end, you'll have not just the skills, but also the confidence to shine.
Thank you so much for looking at the video. We hope it could give you a quick idea of what we are trying to do with the entire program. Ankita, the mics, the stage is all yours now.
Thank you so much, Kirti. All right, guys. So during this first session, Kirti is very vividly shared that how to create an amazing impression. Now, I am here to tell you how to be able to go there to create an amazing impression, right? There is a step which is, which has to be prior to the to creating the first impression in front of the interviewer, and that is your resume writing, isn't it? You might have prepared some resumes or have seen somebody preparing their resume. Still they have the skills, but the resume doesn't get shortlisted. Why? The details, the nitty-gritties, the nuances we'll be taking through the session today, and I'm sure you'll be getting some keynotes. By you utilizing them in your resume, you'll be able to crack the deal. So let's go ahead with it. Can I have the thumbs up? Are you ready to listen to all the nitty-gritties and nuances? Great, great, great. So let's start with the very first thing. The purpose of your resume is to get a job. Right or wrong? Myth or reality? The purpose of your resume is to get a job. Okay. Most of us are believing that it is the reality. Okay. 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 So most of you say that this is the reality, that the purpose of the resume is to get a job. Now let's check. Let's check. Resume plays a very effective role to get you to an interview, but it is not the only tool which will give you a job. If that would have been the case, you need not to give an interview or appear for a GD program, isn't it? So the purpose is, okay, so the purpose is to be able to get into an interview setting. After that, you have to play your role. Right? So it's not enough that you prepare a very good resume and then you appear further. How to decode that resume? Because you must have noticed that most of the questions which come into an interview process is basis of that document itself. Right? So there are some steps further to it also. Right? Definitely starting with the preparation of resume is a very crucial one, but we need to take care that resume itself is not going to get you the job. The other skills which are absolutely required are the part of this particular program also, which we will be discussing in detail when we appear for the real program. Okay, let's move ahead to the second point. Statement 2, chronology is extremely important while drafting a resume. How many of you believe in this, that chronology is extremely important? Don't you think, how does it make a difference? You're putting up the information, whether you put something first, something later, it is 1 or 2 or 3 page of, document which you're presenting. Does it matter that it has to be in a certain chronological way? All right. So we have almost 63, 64 responses saying that it does matter, and a few people saying that it does not matter. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it matters or not. It is extremely important, and the set chronology should be in LIFO order. What is LIFO? Last in, first out, right? So whichever is your highest experience or recent degree, you got to put that first. Now, why we are doing that? Is it the certain norm which has been fixed that okay, you have to use the LIFO order, and if you use the FIFO, it's not going to work? There is a reason behind that, and that reason comes from the screening process which is followed nowadays, which I'll be telling you in the later slides. There is a specific screening system which is followed, for which the LIFO order is the most suitable format. LIFO is last in, first out. Did you know that previously? Yeah, give me a thumbs up if this is a new information for you, right? So we do know that there should be a chronology, but that chronology actually helps you to get your resume shortlisted, is the new information, I believe, right? So you have to put your information in LIFO, last in, first out. Now, the other thing you need to take care is that each statement should start with an action word. Now, what are action word? We are going to provide you with a list of action word. Your every statement has to start with the action word that suits that particular statement which you are writing, that enhances the chance of getting your resume shortlisted. It is just like SEO. You must be aware about the SEO. When we type something on Google, there are certain sites which comes on the first page, then second page, then third page. Similarly, when you are applying for a particular job via any platform, maybe public platform, or you are directly applying to an institution, they have a screening system. In that particular screening system, your action words are extremely important. If you have included those action words in your resume, it becomes more, selectable according to that particular software which they are using, right? Some action word to start with is, for example, I contributed. Now, usually we write, I have done so, I have achieved this particular thing. My success story tells me about this. These are the common words. But if you are putting a specific action word across a specific skill set which you have acquired, that will enhance the chances of your selection of your resume by multifolds. So definitely, when we will be decoding the entire resume writing process, we'll be providing with you with a list of certain action words with where to put them. So we'll be ensuring the placement also, like where you should put those particular action word while drafting your resume throughout, right? Let's move to the statement 3. A one-page resume is always better than a two-page resume. How many of you believe this? Okay. Quite mixed responses we are receiving for this, but still the reality is leading. So most of you believe that a one-page resume is always better than a two-page resume. Now I'm sure you are very talented people out there. So if you have a lot of experience to share, what would you do then? You have a lot of achievement to share, what would you do then? You have achieved a specific list of milestones. Would you like to miss out on any particular milestone and not mention it in your resume when it is needed? Think about it. Is it a myth or reality? I'm sure you all are into the thinking process now. So let's break this myth. Can we have the next one, please? Now, there is no certain rule of one page, two page, or three page. It ought to be sufficiently detailed, right? Now, most of the resumes, what they have, we put every single, like I have, worked on Excel. I have worked on, I'm expert in MS Office. Being an MBA aspirant or looking for a technical job, that is an ought to have skill. So you might not want to mention that particular thing. But if something credential is there with your resume, skipping that just to keep it concise for one page would not make a sense. right? So there is no thumb rule that it should be 1 page or 2 page. Ideally, it should limit to 2 pages. But if the details are much, if you are having quite some experience, for example, for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, then you are appearing for any other thing, it could go to the 3 page resume as well. As far as you are keeping the correct relevant content in your resume, it can go. It should be concise enough to maintain the employer's attention. It should not be redundant. Many of the times, students, what they do is they put on, rephrase the sentences as keep on putting so that, it looks like, okay, somebody has done a lot of job. That would not suffice the need. You have to put one skill once. For example, if you have worked in 4 firms, right? Or you have worked in 4 particular projects and you have done the same thing into the 2 projects or 3 projects, you need not to put it again and again. There are formats which give you the which allows you to put those particular skill in an area where they will show for all the projects you have undertaken, right? So we'll be discussing about certain formats also, how you can smartly put your information into that format which is visible yet very concise. For freshers, definitely it should be a 1 pager resume because you will not need more than that. Now if you may say that I have a lot of achievements, great, that is something you would like to show, but then the template plays a very important role. We can put all the information in 1 page using the advanced templates, which will be sharing with you in the detailed program. A lot of professional templates which are currently trending are there, and which are more friendly to get the shortlisting done are there, which we'll be discussing. So let's move to the next point. I hope the myth is broken, right? That it has to be 1 page only. Can I have the thumbs up for the previous one only? Yeah, the myth was broken. Great, great, good to see. Now let's move on to the statement number 4. Your resume is a standard document for all the job description. This equal fight is going on here. 15, 15, 17. Okay, reality is again winning. Okay, your resume is a standard document for all the job description. I would really invite more, responses for this particular questionnaire because this is very important. A key trick to get your resume shortlisted for a particular job you're applying to. So I take a moment here and I would really request you guys to reply on this particular thing. This is going to bring a great change. QR code is appearing on the corner. If you're not logged in, please kindly log in and share the responses. It's always good to have two-way communication, Okay, 52 people are saying it's a reality, 53 and 36 are saying that it's a myth. Your resume is a standard document for all the job description. Now let me take you through the next slide before I decode this particular myth and reality. Let's have a look on the next slide. Do you believe in this? One size doesn't fit all? Yeah? Look around for the people you are having in the room. Does one size fits all? Then how does one resume would fit to all your job requirements you are applying to? Now you must be saying, because my education is same, my experience is same, my birth date is same, I'm having the same set of skills. Then how that is a resume that is going to go all over, right? That's true. The information is same, but again, going back to the action word in the details which I have decoded previously, you need to tailor your resume basis on the job description. Right? Let's see into the next slide what we can do. Right? How we can tailor our resume. Now, what does tailoring your resume mean? Tailoring your resume to specific job you are applying for. What does that mean? For example, you are applying for a startup. They will be needing somebody who is having a multi skill approach, who is a multitasker, somebody who can see a little bit of this department, little bit of that department. He would not be looking for somebody who is very process oriented. Whereas if you are applying for the organization which are very system oriented, which are having multiple human resources in one particular department, they will be looking for the people who can do the same sort of work for entire month or maybe entire year. For example, if you are into recruitment, you are doing only screening for 1 year, right? If you are into training, you are taking only the training session or induction for 1 year. Whereas if you are applying for a startup, they would look for you that, okay, some interview came up, you are able to take the interviews. Some, other work came up, you are able to do that work. So how to tailor your resume? Are you going to create a new resume for everything? for every job description? That would be a tedious task to do. Yes or no? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up if you believe so. Would not it be a very tedious task if you will be, creating the resume again and again and again for each and every job description? Yes, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up. Nobody wants to work so hard again and again. You need not to. With the same resume format, by adding a particular action word or by switching some skills here and there, which are not fake. Mark my words, the skills would be your skills. The experience would be your experience. The personality would be your personality. If you say I'm excellent in communication skill, we are not going to mark that okay, I'm excellent in technical skill. It would be the communication skill only. But how to present that skill via a sentence which which goes in accordance to the job description is the key, and that is where we relate with tailoring our resume. We are not going to stitch it again. We are just tailoring our resume by making a little bit of change, which will take just 5 minutes, hardly 5 minutes for every specific job description. Right? How to do that? Definitely, we are here to teach you the entire process, how to do that. That depends on the format you are using for creating your resume. It should not be a, line by line by line by line format. It has to be an updated version of resume, which is required. Make sense? Are we all on the same page? Was this information interesting for you? And new to you, rather. Can I have the thumbs up coming? All right. Let's move to the next slide then. Yeah, statement 5. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You don't need a cover letter. They are outdated and unnecessary. Nowadays, this is a very common practice that not if I talk about 2 or 3 years previous to today's time, cover letter was a mandatory thing to do. Everybody used to attach a cover letter, but nowadays it has we are not having, because this particular statement is trending these days amongst the colleges and college students, that you don't need to have a cover letter. How many of you believe this? Come on, quick responses. All right. So most of you say it's a myth, and a few of you say that it's a reality. All right, let's see what it is. See, having the cover letter complements your resume, but it should not be a duplicate copy of your resume. When it plays a difficult role or it goes wrong, when your cover letter also include the redundant information which you have already mentioned in your resume, right? You have given dedicated a particular section of achievements into your resume. Again, you are putting all the achievements in your cover letter. Then it will become redundant, that it will be of no use. It is repetition of the same information provided. The motive of a cover letter is giving a synopsis or a brief about whom you are, what are your strengths, and what is your quality. So drafting it in such a way that it creates an impression and the person wants to see the details in your resume. So the purpose of a cover letter is to build the interest of the recruiter to dive down into your resume and know about you more. That is the purpose of a cover letter. It does not need to have all the information which is already there in your resume. So a well-crafted cover letter will make your application stand out. Believe you me, it is not outdated. Only we need to understand what a cover letter is, what is the importance of keeping a cover letter, and what is the objective of keeping a cover letter. If we understand the objective, if we learn to draft it in a particular format, definitely it is going to add on to your selection procedure. Fine. Right? So we will be drafting a cover letter also, which can also be tailored within a minute or two, or which can be generalized also for all your job requirements. Fine, let's move further. Okay. Now, this is very interesting question again. Who screens your resume after you submit for a job application? Who screens your resume? Can I have the responses quickly? Right? You must have applied for some job or heard about it. HR, mentor, ATS, HR. Okay. The human resource department. Okay. AI. Okay. Some people says AI. Some says ATS. Department we applied for. Interesting answer. ATS robot. ATS is a robot. Okay. Good to know that. HRIS. recruiter, online apps. Okay, okay. So many responses we are having right now. Probably HR, okay. Head of concern department, okay. Okay, okay. ATS, branch managers. Okay, okay. Great, great. Good to have so many responses. At least you are aware that, okay, somewhere the resume is going. Fine, good to know that. Now, let me tell you who screens your resume first. Generally it is believed like most of the answers came here were of HR, right? But there is a system of, resume screening process for one particular job. Like if you're applying through any, applications or any public domain, then there are thousands of application which are already there. Now, how to know that your application is something which should be shortlisted? The person is not going to screen all the applications manually. Some of you replied very rightly that it is the HR, sorry, ATS. Even before going to the HR department, it goes via this software that is called ATS, Application Tracking System, right? Once the ATS shortlists the particular, resumes for that particular job profile, then it goes to the concerned person. Some of you have written HODs, definitely. Then the concerned person is HOD, right? Department head, some of you have written, yes, the concerned person is the department head. HR, some of you has written, somebody has, allocated the resumes to HR. But that is the second step. First, in most of the companies, most of the cases, it goes through a software. Generally, primarily used software is ATS only, application tracking system. It goes to the ATS. So now, even if you are excellent, you are a very good candidature for that particular job role, but you have not prepared your resume to be ATS friendly, then it is not going to shortlist it because it doesn't have any manual handling, right? It is not able to read out, okay, how this person is, or judge rather how this person is. There are certain tricks which are set that, okay, there are keywords for the job description and there are keyword for the resume selection, which has already been set into the software. If that matches, your resume is shortlisted. If that does not match, even if you know the art, it will not be shortlisted. And if it does not reach to the concerned person, no matter how good you don't get the chance to create that impression which Kirti was talking about. Right? So here, what we need to do, we need to prepare our resume so that it becomes ATS friendly. Now, most of you believe that PDF is the standard format, right? Can I have the thumbs up? Generally, we submit our resumes in PDF, yes or no? I see the thumbs up coming in, right? There are other format also which are more ATS friendly than PDF, right? So we can even submit our resume in those format also. There are certain action words which ATS quickly picks up. I was talking about the action words in the initial session also. There are certain action words which ATS quickly picks up. So there are action words, if they are there in your resume, despite of, full matching of the resume, you are able to, get through that particular process of screening the resumes. Now, moving ahead on this particular platform, there are certain application also. There are certain application also which guide you through whether you have prepared your resume ATS friendly or not. Like literally, you can put your resume there, job description there, and match it. We'll be telling you about those applications also. You can actually match it, whether it is 70%, 80%, 90%, or 100% match. If it is more than 70 to 75%, you are good to go. Right? So we'll be preparing you through this particular art also, that how you can make it more ATS friendly by using all the nuances and nitty-gritties which are required for tailoring a very good resume, which is job ready. Right? Okay, let's move on to the next screen now. Now, as I have been taking you through entire resume writing session, I already told you what you can expect from the program. Just to conclude the same, how to make your resume ATS friendly, definitely yes. Key points to get your resume shortlisted for the job, how you can do that, definitely we'll be telling you. Master the art of tailoring the resume as per JD. This is very, very important aspect nowadays, wherein you have to learn this particular art, because as most of you agreed that you are not going to prepare a new resume for every time for a new job description. You can only tailor it, and that too within 5 minutes or 6 minutes, right? Maybe while traveling or maybe while watching a TV, you came across a particular job requirement and you can just tailor your resume and fit in, right? You can even keep multiple resumes ready on the job sites also, and you can apply a particular resume depending on the job need. So we'll be telling you how to do that also. Job specific keywords to an action word. This is my focus point throughout the session. It has been my focus point because this is the key which works, right? So we'll make sure that all these things into detail will be covered in our sessions, and that will be doing. Yes. Can I have the next one, please? If you have any questions, you can put in the question and answer box, right? You can put it in the chat box. We were having previous questions also from the previous sessions. So Kirti is going to tackle that. If you have anything related to resume writing, definitely we would love to answer that. Now, before we move to the question and answering your questions, I would like you guys to see the same video again so that you get to know about the program which is laid ahead of you. Please have a look.
Hello, future leaders. Imagine having a personal coach guiding you through every step of your job search journey. That's what the BSmart Bootcamp is all about, an immersive, hands-on program designed to equip you with everything you need to land your dream job. Whether it's crafting the perfect resume, nailing your interviews, or mastering group discussions, our bootcamp has got you covered. BSmart Bootcamp features 4 intensive sessions, each focusing on critical job readiness skills: group discussions, resume and cover letter writing, grooming, and job interview preparation. Each session is 3 hours long, 2 hours of expert-led discussion, and 1 hour of practical, hands-on work. Plus, you'll get an exclusive one-on-one mock interview with an expert trainer. The bootcamp is spread over several days, giving you ample time to digest, practice, and perfect each skill. This series will help you create a resume that stands out and a cover letter that grabs attention. You'll gain access to free tools to tailor your resume for any job. Experience a realistic interview with constructive feedback and strategies to excel. Learn the ins and outs of group discussions and the secrets of professional grooming. By the end, you'll have not just the skills, but also the confidence to shine. Now let's talk about the investment in your future. The full bootcamp is priced at Rs 6,000, but we have an early bird offer for the first 15 subscribers at just Rs 4,999. So grab your spot quickly and take advantage of this special price. If you're ready to take a leap towards your dream job, don't miss out on this opportunity. We can't wait to see you in the full bootcamp.
Well, that
All
was a
right.
nice
So,
video. Yes.
yeah. So, Kirti, let us, solve their queries also. I got an
Yes.
question. Explain LIFO. Okay, LIFO is last in, first out, which says that whatever you have done recently, for example, in 2024, you are working somewhere or some degree you have done in 2024, you will be putting that particular information first, whether it is about your education or whether it is about your job experience. Whatever you have done recently, then prior to that, then prior to that. This is called a LIFO. I hope I made it clear. Okay, last in, first out. The second question someone asked is, Gautam asked is photo necessary in resume? That depends on the template you are using. There is no mandate that you have to keep a photograph and you don't have to keep a photograph. It will totally depend on the template you are using. If you feel like it is creating, it gives you a sense of confidence to keep your photograph, you're most welcome to keep, but it has to be a formal one. Again, you cannot keep a fancy photo, of course, out there into a resume. It has to be a very formal professional photograph, then you may keep it. There is no for that particular thing. Should resume be black and white and colored? Okay. It just sync with your dressing sense topic. It should not be loud. You cannot put an orange resume, right? Having complete black and white, it goes. It goes for all the details. But if there are certain highlights which are used in modern resume technique, it should be subtle. They are also acceptable. They look also nice, but that should be subtle and professional. How to define what is professional, what is not? We are here to tell you. We'll be telling you which are the professional ones and which are not the professional ones, right? Okay. I already addressed Devang. Is colorful template acceptable? What to add in skill? That for that I need to talk to you. I'll be telling you in detail. We'll be needing at least 1 or 2 hours to understand what to keep, what not to keep. So let's discuss it into the coming sessions, right? Just to answer your query in a brief, I would say your achievements, your technical and personal skills. There should be it should be an amalgamation of your technical skills which you excel into and your personal skills which you excel into, because a resume is not only a document which gives the idea about your technicalities, it also provides the information about the person you are, right? So to give you a brief, this is the idea which you can address to. Now over to Kirti for other questions which are live.
Thank you, Ankita. Those were great answers. I mean, I could not have done a better job. So, coming to a few questions on grooming that we have, and this is a very interesting one, if I may add. If I'm an HR and hiring for a role, I would be looking for the skills and knowledge the person possesses and not on looks. Let's say two people, A and B, came for an interview, one good looking with no knowledge of work, while other not good looking but with experience and good knowledge, whom will you hire? Okay, so this coming from my experience and not just being out of sync with what I was saying. What we were trying to add is your looks make an impact. It's not just the looks. Grooming is not only about looks, if I may add. Your personality, your body language, all of that does come in. You have to understand when you're talking to somebody, there is a human on the other side. So you do make an impact. It's an entire combination. So, yes, it's not about good looking, it's about how you present yourself, and plus a combination of your knowledge, your skills, and your experience come in handy. I hope I could answer that question. Next, we have a question on, can we wear a t-shirt without collar? Yes, so again, this was a part. T-shirt without collar right away like that will be a big no-no. If you do want to wear t-shirts and there is no third layer on, it has to be a polo. Again, nothing loud, simple. Round neck t-shirts are allowed when you're wearing or carrying a third layer, that is a blazer. Again, even then, they've got to be plain solids and no loud prints. And other details we'll be discussing in the further program that you walk in. And is dressing sense and personality impact in off-campus walk-in interview? Your dressing sense and your personality impacts in any interview. It can be a walk-in, it can be an off-campus, it can be an on-campus, it can be virtual. You've applied through a portal. No matter where you apply and how you do it, your dressing sense and your personality is a very big factor, especially as freshers. More than if you do not carry experience, work experience, more than the skills, they're also looking at the attitude that you bring in into the organization, if that will be a sync with the organization culture. So your dressing sense, your personality does impact, and it makes a huge impact, if I may add. Okay. There is one question for me below. If your hairstyle matters, of course, your hairstyle matters. It is an entire combination. Your hair is a big, big part of who you are. I mean, those who have hair, a lot of hair are worried. Those who don't have hair, they're worried. Our whole life revolves around it. So, obviously, how you showcase yourself to everybody makes a huge impact. Ankita, if you'd like to answer a few more questions.
If not mentioned, can we submit the CV instead of resume? Do you know the difference between the CV and resume? That has already been an outdated talk, I would say. Right now, the only thing you need to submit is your resume, right? A good professional resume is something which is software friendly, you should be applying for. Okay, they are just the different terms. Previously, there was a very great segregation between CVs and resumes, but nowadays they are just two different terminology to update you with the recent trends. And a good tailored resume is something everybody is looking for, right? So that's what you need to prepare. Okay.
We've got a lot of questions on asking how to prepare a resume, where to prepare a resume, what needs to be added in the resume. And that is what we are going to be doing in our full-fledged program. All of this catered specifically to you, that we together will sit and work on. That is what you get in when you join us in the full program that we've had to share about. And there is one quick nice question. How can candidates make a positive impression through their appearance and body language during offline interviews? That again, like the previous question, I'd like to answer that is what you learn when you join our course. In detail, what works for you, identifying your personal style, and what will make the right impact that you want to create online, offline. It is your face that is selling. How to work on it, we'll be doing it together.
Right. And it is a workshop kind of sessions which we are going to have, not just like today, it is a webinar. So we had this one-way communication. As you must have seen in the video also, 2 hours are the expert talk and 1 hour is a to-do thing. That is the real workshop. So you then and there would be preparing the resume. Some questions are there, which font to use, how to tailor the resume, which are the website. Website would not help until you prepare a good resume. They are only to give you idea whether it is a good resume or not. But you got to prepare it on your own because the website does not know who you are. You need to identify your skill sets, put it in the paper, and then see whether you have, compiled it in a format which is acceptable in recent job market or not. Right? So I hope we have catered to your questions also, and I hope throughout the session we have been informative for you guys. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It was lovely connecting with all of you. Looking forward to seeing you in our sessions. Yes. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a good evening.
Good evening, guys. Bye bye. Thank you.